everyone, and welcome to the STC Ultimate Ascension 2025. I'm here commentating. A great match today in round 1 here. Gavin versus Icey, man. Yeah, it's going to be a very fun match, to watch today, guys. Two great players in Speed Race. Oh, obviously, Icey, man, is finally making his return to Speed Race. Hasn't played very much in the past couple months, so he's going to be a little washed. However, he has been practicing. He has been heating back up. However, he was unable to finish a strong run there in practice 1. So that is a little worrying, but his opponent today, Gavin, obviously one of the strongest movement players, outside of tournaments, but in tournaments is known to not be as strong, especially mentally. I mean, his last matchup, it was against Noel Tenzi, and he ended up quitting that match just 3 maps in. So it's definitely, a test of mentality. Now, if he has a poor performance on things like Fuyu Village, it could simply, spiral into something deeper. Obviously, ping is going to be a big factor in this. Oh, Icey Man's ping is 110. Definitely going to need him to record for touches there. Round 1 here. Ooh. Gavin, I think he... Oh, Gavin! Tons of mistakes already! I have never ever seen that series of events. Wow, so Icey Man's already going to take a little bit of a lead here. 99 in round 1. Obviously not a terrible time considering the ping he's under. And, just returning to speeder. It's not going to be seeing the fastest of times, but... Wow, Gavin. Obviously, I don't even think that was like a nerve issue. I honestly think that was just unfortunate luck. And I don't know how that happened. I'm sorry. I do expect Gavin here in round 2 to be able to complete a run here. I do think that was kind of a one-off mistake because, that was in a usually consistent part of the map, so. Ooh, Icey Man's pixel isn't as clean as Gavin's, so he's going to be losing time there. But in general, it's like 0.1 behind Gavin. Oh, tie 19.8. Icey Man keeps up with Gavin despite seeming about 0.1 behind, so maybe Gavin touched 0.7 there. Of course, an official review after will likely be mandatory for a map like Fuyu Village, where every frame honestly counts. To the best players in the world on high ping. Just definitely can't trust IGT here. Gavin makes the same mistake yet again. This is shocking. I've never seen a high-level player just, fumble the beginning. Not even, get a chance on the map to get a clean run in as Icey finishes another 19.8. Gavin's, officially on, the block. He cannot afford to make any mistakes. Icey Man already locks in an average. Gavin's going to need to clutch these last 2. But yeah, I mean, when you're facing Gavin as a player, no offense, but this is all you really need to do is stay consistent throughout. And he might crumble under his own pressure. However, Gavin in recent tournament performance has been relatively clutch. He was very clutch against Marbles, so maybe he'll finish out Fuyu Village strong here, which he seems to be pacing for now. Yeah, definitely a strong run here from Gavin. 19.8 tie. Icey Man improves his IGT average already. Icey Man's pacing very well in this match. Round 5 here. Gavin still needs to clutch this. However, being one of the best players in the world, I don't doubt his... Oh, Gavin falls! Gavin falls! Icey Man wins for you, Village. Icey Man takes a 1-0 lead in the match. Finishing another 19-8. This is just giving him opportunities to, you know, retime a 0.7. Gavin fumbles on round 5. Too many mistakes at the beginning costs Gavin here. 31-2 for him. Will, I guess, slightly improve his average by 0.2. But yeah, Icey Man takes Fuyu Village. I seem to have made a mistake here, guys. I really thought I did that correctly. I mean, as you guys might know, map selection's kinda one of my weaknesses when it comes to speed race. Not always the strongest at that, but we get through it. Wow, great start to this match here if you're Icey Man. I mean, Cosmic Cliffside is supposed to be a less consistent map than Fuyu Village, so... However, Gavin is one of the best Cosmic Cliffside skipless players in the world. But, you know, if he keeps playing inconsistently, this is... Icey Man just needs to stay consistent here. Icey Man fumbles practice 1 again. Obviously, same thing happened on Fuyu Village, and he managed to stay consistent throughout. I think Icey Man finished all 5 runs cleanly, so... Definitely consistent despite what practice 1 may tell you, so... Hopefully he can have that type of performance here on Cosmic. However, unlike Fuyu Village, Cosmic Cliffside is not a map where safety and fast times align. Because on Fuyu Village, you can probably safety 19.8s, even 19.7s if you're great. But on Cosmic Cliffside, you can't safety the fastest times at all. I mean, there's about 0.3 to gain by doing, you know, related skipless routes. So there's no sense of safetying on Cosmic Cliffside here, but... You know, Gavin's going to be needing to get, you know, 15 threes to make it really count. Because Icey Man, I seriously doubt that he can safety 15 threes. Gavin might be able to, though. So, if I were Gavin, I think highest IQ play is actually not to start out safely on Cosmic Cliffside. Rather going, you know, for a decently advanced run. Try to lock in 15 threes that I'm not sure if Icey Man can get in this state. Round 1 here. However, obviously safetying a decent run is never a super low IQ play from Gavin. We'll see what he does here. Oh, Icey Man gains time. Icey Man gains a decent amount of time on Gavin here. He's about 0.1 ahead. Oh, Gavin gains it all back for a 15-5 tie. Really unfortunate ending for Icey there. Definitely could have capitalized on that for like a 15-4, maybe even a 15-3. Huge slope steal at the ending, I believe. Obviously, 15-5 isn't a super fast time, so maybe we'll be seeing faster than that from both in round 2 here. Icey Man was definitely quicker than I thought he'd be. I didn't think he'd be able to keep up with Gavin on speed. Gavin makes a mistake. No, Icey Man! Unfortunate steam leads to a death. Oh, that's really unfortunate. Both of them taking a death here. Icey Man, because he plays on mobile, he's unable to control steam sometimes. And that can show up in places like there where you kind of need to make an abrupt turn. So yeah, really unfortunate. I kind of was a little bit worried about that in, you know, round 1 because he was... Oh, I do not remember what times they got there. Yeah, I mean, when you're on mobile, it's just things like that that kind of haunt you. Because there's really nothing you can do about that other than, you know, play around it. But, you know, when you're just coming back to speed race after a decent break, you're not really going to be quite used to that. Round 3 here. Both of them now kind of need to start playing consistently. neither of them with ideal runs in the first two. However, 15-5 will probably be enough to, be competitive on this map. Icey Man upgrades to a 15-4 in round 3. Gavin, I mean, still 15-5s. Kind of needs to start applying pressure because we know that Gavin's able to get 15-3s, We know that. I don't even think he's performing poorly. I just think he's playing too safely right now. He needs to start pushing his lines if he wants to have a chance. Round 4 here. Yeah, I mean, Icey Man's just so smooth at this part. Gavin takes it too safe. Dude, look neck and neck. Gavin maybe the better ending. They tie 15-4. Wow. This is going to come down to the last round here. IGT. Gavin is just 1/10 behind. However, he can definitely get a great run here in round 5. Round 5. Everything's on the line here. Gavin may fall to a 2-0 deficit here if he doesn't play correctly. Oh, Gavin seems to already be largely ahead of Icey Man, but Icey Man just gains all the time back. Gavin's midsection is too slow. It's too safe. They both 15-4. If everything... Gavin... Icey Man takes a 0... No, sorry. Icey Man takes a 2-0 lead in the first 2 maps. Icey Man is already in a very favorable position here. I mean, obviously, we'll have to retime Cosmic Cliffside, but that just seems advantageous towards Icey because he's on worse ping. I seriously don't see Gavin winning that, so Gavin needs to seriously lock in here if he wants a chance to win. I mean, he was definitely the favorite heading in, but it's early poor performances on the early maps that can lead to Gavin fumbling. Icey Man saying he has 0 stars on this map. So Gavin's gonna be probably definitely the favorite on this map. I don't know how that happens, guys. It's Tropical Dash here. Not supposed to be a very difficult map, but we'll see here in practice too how Icey Man, is on this map. Because he didn't look super weak at all. I don't know if he just had his PB reset or what. Yeah, Gavin's just gaining a huge lead on Icey Man here, so if Gavin just plays consistently, then he... Oh, dear. Oh, dear. I mean, as I was saying, if Gavin just plays safe and consistently, he should... So, I actually thought Icey Man was resetting, but his start line is just so wacky, it makes it look like he's coming from... Right. Alright, as I said, Gavin, despite looking a little rough in practice, he should still be favored on this map if he plays, relatively well. And do keep in mind that some DNFs that, make it on his IGT DNFs may actually be retimed as successful runs. So, all you need to know here for Tropical Dash, round 1. Yeah, as you can see, Icey's start line already loses a decent amount of time. Oh, Icey Man is unable to get a seam. He's just going to take an early death. Now it's just on Gavin to play, consistently. Finish out a decent run here. Even a 29-5 will do. Which Gavin is definitely capable of, 29 threes. Maybe even 29 twos. Yeah, Gavin should just safety. Yeah, 29-4. That's just genuinely all he needs to do to take this map. So while, you know, the 0-2 deficit for Gavin might look a little scary, he should be pretty comfortable, you know, 1-2. Cosmic Eclipse, that definitely could have been a tie as well. So, you know, Gavin definitely has the opportunity to tie this match up 1.5, 1.5 if Cosmic is a tie here. So, doesn't look too desperate for Gavin yet, but oh, Icey Man, huge slope steal. He's just definitely didn't put the hours in on this map. Doesn't know the lines, doesn't know the strats, you know, perfectly like Gavin, who has mastered this map through both world record grinding and, you know, clearly he practiced well enough on this map where he can, you know, 29-4 consistently. As I do suspect that probably touched 29-4. Yeah, Gavin just won. Icey Man setting a new PB. Of course, we like to congratulate that here at STC. However, that just kind of goes to show that he didn't practice well enough for this match, and I don't like that heading into our, you know, last two maps here. I definitely don't like, you know, I don't like people heading into matches without being sufficiently practiced, and it's not like Icey Man had a lack of time. It was just, he just didn't practice. So, no one's fault but his own here. He's going to be losing Tropical Dash unless Gavin has a severe choke here. He just needs to finish one of the next 3 runs, and Gavin will more likely than not take it. I mean, unless something seriously crazy happens, Gavin likely will take Tropical Dash. As expected heading in, I was not expecting it to be so lopsided, but I was unaware of Iceman's lack of practice on this, so. Alright, round 4. You know, at this point, maybe it's just Icey Man looking to lock in an average. Maybe it's just Gavin trying to improve his average. But not too much at stake here. Icey Man just blows past, you know, the start slope. You can definitely tell that he's not practiced up. Obviously, completely his fault. So, ooh, Gavin, IGT DNF. Maybe that retimes to a successful run. So, we don't know. But double DNF going in here. Icey Man still needs to, you know, complete this next run if he even wants an average at all. 2 DNFs on the board for him. Honestly, I do kind of like this as a mentality boost for Gavin here, heading into probably the most competitive match of the match, the most competitive map of the match, Autumn Woodlands, where both of them are Skipples World Records holders. This is kind of, I would say, Icey Man's iconic map, Autumn Woodlands. Icey, you know, might honestly be as strong as Gavin outside of tournament on, you know, Autumn Woodlands. So if Gavin faces inconsistencies like we saw, oh, double DNF. Icey Man is unable to finish an IGT average. So Gavin takes that pretty handily. So likely 2-1, maybe 1.5, 1.5 in the match. As I was saying, Icey Man, Autumn Woodlands is, I would say, his best map in Speed Race, his defining map for his career. So if he has, you know, an opportunity to win, it's on Autumn Woodlands, where Gavin hasn't been playing super consistently. This isn't one of Gavin's stronger movement maps. I would say they probably average about the same. You know, both seem like strong 24-9 competitors in their prime. Both can achieve 24 AS, but not super. Yeah, I mean, obviously, Icy Man is threatening to do first-person touches here, which on a map like Autumn Woodlands, where it's just so competitive, every frame matters yet again, you can't really be risking losing too much time. However, we'll just see how he plays. In round 1, he didn't look super consistent in practice, so I'm a little worried for Icy Man. This is his chance to win and take down a top 10 tournament player in Gavin. I mean, Icy Man has always been relatively strong in tournaments. Almost beat Shane in the Grand Resurgence. However, oh, Icy Man takes a DNF in round 1. Obviously, Icy Man, his loss to Shane came to him performing poorly. He definitely had the opportunity to win, so maybe not the most clutch player, but a strong player. Gavin already is pushing out 25 O's. Icy Man needs to lock in and get moving here immediately. Another mistake here for Icy Man that leads to a death, and I'm very, very slim on his chances. I mean, kind of the roles reverse here. I mean, Gavin started the match inconsistent, however, has been very consistent. The commentator's curse, right as I say that, Gavin fumbles. A 25-0 here for Icy Man will be really, really nice. Gavin, not on a terrible run. Definitely better than the DNF. Icy Man 25-0. This is the competitiveness on Autumn Woodlands that I was talking about. Both of them start with a 25-0 in their first 2 runs. However, I do feel like Gavin's was a little earlier. That seemed like a late 25-0, but 25-0 regardless. Round 3 here. Both of them just need to finish, you know, even a 25-1 will be great here. Just stay consistent. You know, your first 3 runs you will at least want to have 2 successful ones. So 2 deaths for either one is definitely on the block, definitely possible. But we'll see here. Gavin seems to gain a little bit of time here. Not catastrophic for Icey. Gavin makes a mistake. It's not huge. It's only a little bit of a loss, but it'll lose to Icy Man here. Icey at 25-0, Gavin 25-1. Icy Man is staying super consistent under pressure here. Gavin seems to fumble a little bit, but Gavin does lock in an average, albeit, you know, not a super clean one, a 25-3 average. That 25-1 from Gavin's honestly a best case scenario. Not a huge loss on time here. However, Icy Man can definitely take advantage of it. Round 4 here, Gavin needs to get a solid run here. Icy Man, though, is not out of the woods yet. Ooh, a death for Icy Man. He's going to be starting with 2 DNFs. This is Gavin's chance to get a clean run, take a big advantage again on this map. Yeah, Gavin's on a very clean run here. This could definitely be a 24-9 retime. It's a 24-9 IGT! Gavin gets a sub 25. Gavin clutching out a great time in round 4. Already a 25-0 average. And he has the opportunity for a sub 25 average here in round 5. However, Icy Man definitely has the opportunity but needs to play. Both of them need to play out of their mind to have a convincing win on Autumn Woodlands. Icy Man bonks. Gavin fumbles. This is Icy Man's time to shine. A 25-0 here will tie IGT. However, Gavin has a little bit of an advantage on touches as he's not playing in first person. Icy Man 25-0. It's a tie IGT. Wow, Gavin had the opportunity to... Oh, wow. Wow. Gavin had the opportunity to not let the 25-1 count. AFK, guys. AFK, AFK. Wow, though. Icey Man clutches a 25-0. Obviously, the thing is, all of Icey Man's 25-0s didn't seem super early, guys. Seriously, doubt any of them were 25. Alright. Again, I fumbled the map selection, guys. I'm sorry about that, but... Okay. No Gavin AFK, please. Okay. Alright. Map 5 here. Obviously, I really don't know who's... You know, what position this is in. I mean, Gavin, with touches, might tie up Cosmic, might win Autumn Woodlands. So this could be, you know, anywhere from a 3-1 Icey Man to a 2.5, 2.5. What? Why are we... No. What the fuck? Whoa, wait, no. I thought this was the map. I don't know how I got where I got that idea, but that is definitely not the map. I don't know. I'm sorry, guys. I'm just too used to round 2. Okay. Clock. Ooh, Clock is really interesting. I mean, Gavin's one of the best skipless players in the world on Cosmic Cliffs. Oh my god. Clockwork Coliseum, guys. I'm a little... Sorry, guys. I'm just so excited to see map 5 here. I'm just getting a little ahead of myself. Okay. Gavin is one of the best Clockwork skipless players in the world, being the first person to achieve a 22-4. So this is his map to take. Obviously, touches is just going to define. Especially this map. Gavin will likely be... Again, at a decent advantage. This isn't a super fumbleable map. However, we did see players like NHL fumble Cosmic Cliffside, so anything's possible here. I just don't see someone as skilled. I don't see someone as skilled as on Clockwork as Gavin to fumble like that. I mean, 22-6 is honestly all he might need to do, and that should be completely automatic here for Gavin. You know, there should, if he's just going for 22-6s, there should be no semblance of even, you know, getting close to dying. However, anything can happen here on a map 5. I'm really, really excited to check touches here, guys. Wow, tie 22-6, Icey Man gets the IGT win, showing that even though Gavin's one of the best Clockwork players, he's still completely in this match. If Icey Man can, you know, have a great round, you know, even get a 22-5, that'll be huge. So that is important to know. Icey Man definitely has a chance here on Clockwork. You know, Clockwork should be a super consistent map, so having it at round 5 is super interesting. It creates this artificial pressure, which I really enjoy, as it's definitely fumbleable when you're under, you know, a round 5 pressure. Gavin seems to be on a much better run here movement wise. Will likely finish a 22-5 here. That honestly might put it away if Gavin just stays consistent. A 22-5. Icey Man cannot keep up. A 22-7 for him. Huge start here from Gavin. Round 2. Okay. Gavin got an electric start last time, which gained him a ton of time off the bat, but, you know, when he doesn't get that start, the competitors are still neck and neck. Obviously, Gavin a little bit ahead, but this is definitely an IGT tie situation. Yeah, 22-6 IGT. Obviously, if both of them stay consistent at 22-6, is that like, that's honestly advantageous for Gavin, who got the 22-5 IGT in round 1. That's all Gavin needs to do is stay consistent, whereas Icey kind of needs to push his times. Gavin, another great start. Gavin fumbles. If Icey Man can take advantage of this, honestly, he's not in a terrible position. The 22-6, definitely here. Icey Man, please zoom out. Gavin's going for skip. No. Hey, no. That's a DQ. That's a DQ if I've ever seen one. So Icey Man's going to be the first to finish an average here. However, still counting the 22-7 IGT. Not out of the woods. Would love a great run from him. He needs to start pushing his start more, I think. As Gavin, you know, when Gavin gets a decent start, he gains a lot of time on Icey Man just off the bat. Obviously, start lag a little bit. Shouldn't affect anything other than our viewing experience as touches. Yeah, Gavin just slightly better lines, slightly better cuts throughout every section of the map. They are literally neck and neck here. I don't see Gavin fumbling this, so that'll lead to a 22-6 IGT tie yet again. Round 5 here. Gavin, a big advantage as he has the 22-5 IGT. So Icey Man with the 22-6 average needs to push his lines as far as he can. He needs to take every cut just further than he ever thought he could. And he's already losing time to Gavin. Yeah, he's already slightly behind. This isn't going to be a great run from him. Gavin's honestly on another 22-5 pace. If he finishes out 22-5, I mean, I don't really see how Icey Man can top that. Oh, wow. Icey Man 22-7. Just unable to capitalize on round 5. Wow, we are definitely going to... Wow, yeah, this definitely could go to overtime, as Shane says in chat. Definitely a super close match. I'll let you guys know how it finishes out. Yeah. So if you see another broadcast from me in the coming minutes, you know what's going down. But I will see you if we get there. I will let you guys know how it finishes out. But huge congrats to both competitors for putting on a great match. Especially Icey Man, possibly completing an upset against Gavin. Thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you later. Peace.